Hey guys, it's me, it's FFP coming at you live, not really, with another video. It has been a while since I've uploaded anything to the channel that is rather substantial. And for those of you who followed my channel for quite some time, you know that I like to do drink reviews. And, today, it's Friday morning, I just got back from work, just got out of the shower, enjoying the weather here in beautiful British Columbia. It's set to get 30 Celsius today. For Americans, that's probably somewhere in maybe 70 something, 80. I'm not really sure how that works out, that equation. But I do have something very special, very nationalistic for myself, and I decided, it's about time I started making another video anyways. So what we got today is the wonderful, the original Cabot Trail Maple Cream. Now why don't we get a closer look at this thing, huh? Now that I've pulled myself up a seat so we can get a nice close look at this bottle, you can see very classic shape, dark black glass, probably brown if you held it up to the light. Thick, very old school. You can see on the side here, I don't know if the camera can catch it, but there is an engraving that says 1681. So there's a little bit of history behind this. For people who don't know, Cabot Trail is a historical thing related to, the guy's name was John Cabot. If I'm not mistaken, he was a pioneer who traveled through Canada during its first expeditions into the country that most people considered unknown at the time, though there had already been people living here. On the back of the bottle, I'll read this. It says, "The authentic taste of maple. Inspired by Canadian tradition, our maple cream liquor is crafted with pure grade A Canadian maple syrup and fresh cream. Made from natural ingredients, Cabot Trail Maple Cream is a smooth and delicious Canadian product. Serve on ice, in cocktails, or in coffee." Now, I don't drink coffee, and I don't know what cocktails I would make with this thing. I might have to search that up later and tell you guys about that. And I have no ice in the fridge, although I do have popsicles. So what I did is, before I went to work today, I just popped this bad boy in the fridge, and now it's nice and chilled, the bottle. There is cream in it, and on the bottle it does say once opened, keep it refrigerated, and that is because there's dairy in this. Of course, if you didn't know what cream is, it's a dairy product made of milk, thick. But in ingredients here it says cream, milk, sugars, maple syrup and sucrose, alcohol, casein, rum, caramel, and natural flavor. Contains milk. You could also return this for refund where applicable. And on the back here there's a little, I guess that's supposed to be a pioneer or coureur de bois or whatever they call that, down there with a pair of snowshoes on. That's a nice little detail they got on there. If you didn't know, this is a 750 milliliter bottle, and it is 15% alcohol by volume. Made with pure Canadian maple syrup, and I'm assuming, looking at this, of course you can also go to their website, cabottrailmaple.com, but I'm assuming, looking at this bottle and reading what it is, I'm assuming it's going to taste a lot like Bailey's Irish Cream, and I love Bailey's Irish Cream. I do know there is one cocktail you can make with Bailey's. Some places call it the car bomb, if I'm not mistaken, the Irish car bomb, and that's where you mix Guinness into the beer, Guinness into a little bit of Irish cream. I did do that once, where I poured like a little thing of Irish cream straight into the can of Guinness, and that ended up like turning it into this sort of like flan-like consistency. It became solid, but when you have it as a shot, it tends to be more like milky. So I probably did it wrong at the time. But I am excited to try this, of course. But since it is a Canadian product, and it is very fancy looking, I figured it would only be appropriate if we sang the national anthem before we took a look at this bottle. So why don't you guys join me? Wow, I am hyped the hell up now to drink some of this. And but you guys know, as I said earlier, I did just get home from work, so I am drinking on an empty stomach. That is not something I suggest you guys do at home. I also suggest not drinking at noon. It seems a little early for something like this, but I'm hungry, and I haven't eaten since maybe 4 a.m., something like that, before I went to work. So let's get it, man. Oh yeah, I will say, just in case I did get something to eat, this is a Canadian delicacy called pandesal. So I always got that, just in case. Now let's open this bad boy up. Une histoire d'ici. A story of our own. There we go. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, guys. So I got my mug here. Let's try this bad boy out. Bottoms up. It does pretty much look like Bailey's as I'm pouring it. Light blue color there. As the Quebecois say, das ist gut. That smells fantastic. It smells just like maple syrup, and it smells like Bailey's Irish Cream. So if you, my friend at home, are watching this, why not grab a glass and cheers with me? Cheers, guys. That is pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty bloody fantastic. If you've had Bailey's, you know what to expect. But this has like that maple syrup twist that, of course, Bailey's does not have a flavor in. Though it has surprised me that Bailey's has been making quite a few flavors, and they've really been branching out lately. Like when I went to the BC liquor store to get this, not only did I see the regular Bailey's and the light Bailey's, they call it. I guess that one's lower calories, lower sugar or something. But they also had tiramisu flavor. That I gotta try sometimes, but the bottles are pretty big. And I think there was another flavor. It might have been like chocolate or vanilla or something. And, you know, I don't buy enough alcohol to make cocktails at home. But this in and of itself is already like alcohol mixed with something else, so I might as well call it a cocktail, and I like it a lot. So it's easy for me to drink. I love dairy, I love drinking milk. And I love maple syrup. So for me, this is pretty darn good. If you've had the limited edition Bailey's flavored ice caps at Tim Hortons, that's what this tastes like. Woo-wee! And it smells good. It smells good, man. It smells good. I would drink this every morning before I wake up. Or I guess after I wake up. Because if I did it before I wake up, then it would have been wasted. So what do I rank the original Cabot Trail? Well, I haven't had much different types of cream liquors, or liqueurs as we call it, to really compare and contrast. The only other one I've had is Bailey's. I did see a few others like this, Canadian brands and outside of Canada, at the BC liquor store, as I said. And I might have to try those someday, but again, the bottles are big and I'm one man. I can only drink so much in one day. And as these all have cream in it, if I open it, it's got to go in the refrigerator and I got to finish it. Otherwise it will go bad. I believe on this one it says 6 months. So yeah. Yeah. I'd give it a pretty solid Bailey's out of 10. I wouldn't say there's much different to it than Bailey's, because that's what I'm using as my baseline. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm using Bailey's as my baseline here. And so I can't really say this is any better or worse than Bailey's, but it is maple syrup flavored. And so it's different than just being sweet milk flavored. Like Bailey's has the coffee flavor, obviously, right? This doesn't have coffee in it. And so that's something Bailey's has. It really depends on your taste. But even then, the base flavor of both these drinks is the same. It's rum with some kind of sweet milk concoction. And yeah, if you like that, you're gonna like this. Unless you don't like maple syrup. But here's another thing. If you're not in Canada, your standards for maple syrup are really low. I've been in like superstores and I've seen imported maple syrups, and they're not even maple syrup. What was his name? Pearl Milling Company, formerly known as Aunt Jemima syrup. Oh, Mrs. Buttersworth. Ugh! It just tastes like water with sugar, man. Like real maple syrup has like 200% of your daily magnesium in it, and your thiamine and your niacin and anything that rhymes with such and so. That said, definitely give Canadian maple syrup a try. It's better than you think, and much better than mass-produced whatever. Although, of course, I say better than mass-produced, but Canadian maple syrup is also mass-produced. We have giant farms all over the country. So, yeah. Just don't go robbing our storage, our national storage of maple syrup, because that will kind of tank our economy, and right now we can't really deal with that. I already got a lot of far-right people around me, like, up in arms, so. Anywho, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. Drink responsibly, of course. And, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. It's going to be a scorcher, 30°C in beautiful British Columbia today, and I think after this I'll go make myself a nice lunch. So I'd like to thank you guys for drinking with me. This has been Flashfire Prime, signing out. Take care, guys.
God save the Queen and heaven bless the maple